another Sci-Fi Fantasy Saturday, or what I like to call Beverage in a Book. My beverage, coffee. And you know what? I need it. It is cold out here today. And the book, well, we're going way out. We're going to Outpost 2099. This is a solitaire sci-fi game published and designed and produced by Mike Lambo. And that name might seem familiar if you've watched any videos on my channel. I've covered a lot of game books, and especially war game books, over the last year and a half. And Mr. Lambo has been very, very busy, very industrious in producing these books. So this is a sci-fi book, and we're going to take a look at this today and page through it. But you may be familiar with some of his other books. This was a Quest for a Brave. This was a Solitaire Fantasy Game, and I covered that on a Sci-Fi Fantasy Saturday. So we've got the fantasy piece, and now we have the sci-fi piece. But Mike Lambo is probably better known for his war game books. He's done several of these, as you can see from this stack here. I believe Fields of Normandy was the first one. And in fact, I think he sent this one to me. I went out and bought most of these, but I think he sent me two. Thank him for that. But I think this was the first one, Fields of Normandy. So you're talking World War II, or dealing with World War II. And his games are mostly kind of a hex encounter type game. Some of these games are not. You'll see Outpost is not one of those kind of games, but a lot of his games are trying to recreate a boxed version of a hex encounter game into a war game book. You had Battles of Normandy, The Race for Bastogne, Beaches for the Brave, Battles of Medieval Britain, Ghost of the Jungle, Hostage Rescue Squad, Battles of the English Civil War, Assault on Vimy Ridge, and Lone Sherman, which is his last or most recent war game book. And this got quite a bit of attention. So there, if you haven't looked at my Mike Lambo assortment, feel free to go down to under Designer Lambo or under War Game Books, under any of my playlists, and you can catch up on all that. But today we're talking about Outpost 2099, having some coffee, and these are, I think, kind of print on demand from Amazon, or produced on demand by Amazon. I mean, I get these from Amazon, and I think that's the system they use here. Let's take a look at the back here. Outpost 2099 propels you to the end of the 21st century, when humankind has discovered the means to travel far and deep into the universe that was until a mystery. Establishing research outposts on distant planets have proven difficult, not least because the aliens do not want us there. It is your task to complete the research task at each outpost. Use the knowledge acquired to defeat the alien resistance once and for all. Take a look in here and see what we see. Got a color page here, title page. This is other books by him, and you've already seen. I think I've got the full assortment. Collect them all. I've got the full assortment there, so you can check them out there. You've got your contents, which is going to give you an introduction and a background on how this book works. He always gives that in his books on how to use this book, because it is a game book. It is a game inside a book, and how you use it. You can use these as, kind of mark stuff off in the book, or you can make copies of the pages, or put some kind of acetate or plexiglass or something on the pages, or however you want to do it. I'm sure he's fine if you mark your books up and then you have to buy new ones. So I think that's a win for him. Here's your rules: to win, outpost, crew, robot, the turn process, the alien phase. You're going to be going up against the alien, the crew phase, then setting up the game, and then you've got 10 outposts. So these are kind of probably akin to, in his war game books, these would be scenarios, where they're are replayable, and then you can play them numerous times and try different strategies. Or of course the aliens might do things different, and then move on to the next one. So I imagine these outposts are going to be similar to scenarios. It'd be interesting to see if he links these together and kind of has a campaign game. Maybe I'll have to play to find that out. You've got suggested counters. Error bookmark not defined. So that's interesting. He's got a little bit of a interesting printing issue there. But a lot of times in his games, he has suggested counters, especially in his hex encounter type games, because you can play it in the book or write stuff in the book, but a lot of us, grognards like to have the counters and push those around on the map board. Here's the introduction, gives you some background and context. Here's the how the book works, and basically how you're going to set this up. If there's any DIY or do-it-yourself type stuff of getting out a map or getting out the counters. Here's the rules, the outposts, and then you've got an example here. It's full color, but an example of the outpost. Here's your crew. So you've got some different people here, like scientists or researchers and soldiers here. You've got the robot. You've got the turn process. Looks like it's a couple of phases here, the alien phase and the crew phase. Then this talks about the alien phase. This is basically the AI or the built-in bot that you're going up against and what it's going to do. And you're going to have, I think I probably should say, you're going to need to roll dice, so you're going to have to supply your own dice in these games. But anybody that's played a war game book or game book probably is familiar with that, and I'm sure we all have plenty of dice lying around. And this tells you how the dice works. A lot of print here. Interesting choice using the black. That uses a ton of ink. But yeah, so there you got the figures are in this black background or images as well. Then you've got the crew phase, and this looks somewhat similar to some of Mike Lambo's other books, where it's going to give you what your options are. What they kind of do. It looks like you roll dice here, and they can do different things here: teleport, scorch, robot, shield, pulse, research, freeze. So there's some different things there. And this is how you're going to be reacting, I guess, to the alien and what your actions are. So this is the actions that your different crew members can take. Here's actions in outpost areas. There's teleport. There's shoot. So you got some turrets here as well. So there is combat in this game. Of course, you have soldiers as characters, so there's going to be some combat, and you're fighting aliens. So I wonder if it's going to be kind of a bug hunt, or if these are just good old-fashioned aliens that we're used to. Some more laser sword. It's kind of interesting there. Freeze. Research, and I think this is where you might be collecting information that as you're going to these outposts and you're trying to collect this information, and maybe that's one of the winning conditions is to research and get to a certain level. Here's shields, here's pulse, robot, malfunction, self-destruct, and then that's the game. Then you setting up the game, tells you how to do that. And then these are the different outposts, right? So this is very similar to his other games. You're going to have a map on one side, and this is where the play takes place, or the gameplay takes place. Either you're moving counters or you're marking stuff off, or however you want to recreate it on the board. I think there's suggested counters for this game. And then on the other side here, it gives you all the stuff you need to play this scenario or this outpost here. This is the alien piece, where what they're going to do on the board, then your actions and what you can do, and then a little bit better explanation of what those actions are between move, teleport, laser swords, scorch, shoot, shield, pulse, research, freeze, robot, and self-destruct. I don't think you want to do self-destruct right off the bat, but who knows. So there'll be 10 of these outposts, and these pages here will be unique, and a lot of the stuff over here might be changed as well. The aliens are going to be performing different, or your actions might be different, and the like. So there you have it. And so if you don't want to write in the book or mess up the book or mangle the book, you probably want to make a copy of this and a copy of this to have it, or you can just leave this open off to the side if you don't mind, paging to look at rules every once in a while. But you probably definitely want to have this separate and then make counters or what you have for that. And there's 10 of these in here. So definitely a sci-fi game here. You're in space. You've got laser swords. I wonder what that is reminiscent of. And robots and aliens. So what more would you want to deal with? And you've got this research track. Of course, your characters, some of them are researchers, some of them are soldiers, and then you got a robot. So there you have it. So interesting art over here. Got some like holding boxes here. And again, I'll go back and before I play it, of course, have to read over the rules a few times. And once you get it down and know generally what the rules are, the game, these are not super complex, you can play the game off of this chart here. I mean, you're going to know what these different things do. I mean, you might have to look them up a few times, but after a while, you're going to know what these do, and that's really going to drive the game over here. So there you have it. And Outpost 10, the robot sharpshooter. Here's your suggested counters here that you can, not that complex, but you can print them out from there, or you can print them out from Board Game Geek. You'll geek out over there. And then that's it. There's the rest is blank pages, and then you're back to the back, and then we're back to the front, and then we're back to my coffee. And there you have it. Love to know your thoughts on this. Have you got this out yet? Have you tried it? Or your thoughts on his game books in general. It could be on any of these, any of his collection. Love to know your thoughts on that. Or you can always go back to where I covered it and drop a comment there if you'd like, or find out a little bit more about it. Overall, I enjoy these for what they are. They're not in-depth board games. They're close. Some of these games come close to what you might expect from a boxed war game, but and with a little bit of do-it-yourself, they come even closer. As you bling out the counters or the maps and stuff, or whatever you want to do with that. But a solid system. It's got a solid AI. The AI is not. I don't find the AI overly tough, but it's not a pushover either, right? And there is some luck involved, right? In some of these things, there is some dice rolling, so your mileage may vary. So I can't get the whole loan out. There we go. We got the whole thing on the board now. So let me know what you think. Drop a comment. And actually, that's the best way I know you stopped by, is dropping a comment. So appreciate you stopping by. And hope you're having a good one. If you're watching this in the morning, enjoy your coffee or whatever you drink. And have a good day. If you're watching this in the afternoon, hope it's a good one. And I hope this helps a little bit. And if it's in the evening, I hope you had a good day. And if you're just winding down with some Kilroy, I'm glad you did that. Thanks. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.